Hello there everyone, this is Virulent, and today I'm going to show you a standard budget deck. Now if you're somebody who's getting back into the game of Magic, or you're somebody who's in it and you're just getting tired of playing that Planeswalker deck that you bought or that intro pack and you want to go further, well, have I got the thing for you. I call it Blue Balls. I couldn't think of a good name for it. I was going to base it off of a song, but I can't think of a song that this would match. If you can think of one, put it in the comments. Who knows? Maybe you'll get something next time I talk about a card deck, which will probably be in like 3 weeks. Anyways, so what does this thing have in it? Well, allow me to show you. Here we're going to be packing 20 monsters, 20 spells, and 20 lands. And even split in thirds. The first monster we're going to be putting in here are the most important ones, the ones I like to call the tappers. That'll be Reckless Scholar, the Vessel of Paramnesia, and the Minister of Inquiries. These are all very important cards for the deck. You see, the idea behind this deck is you want to either beat them to pulp, or you want them to deck themselves. Which is why I call this Blue Balls, cause it'll make your friends angry whenever you play against them, and it'll be fun for you, I guess. So what do all of these cards do? Well, Reckless Scholar, after you summon him, he gets a free tap. Target player draws a card, then discards a card. You can use it on yourself or you can use it on them, who knows? Maybe they'll draw a really bad card and the only other card in hand is a good card. And they'll have to be like, well dang, maybe I can just get rid of this. But oh no, that ruined the combo they had later. And you've ruined them now, haha. You could also use it on yourself if you have things like Madness or Delirium that you want to add to the deck. Next what we have is Minister of Inquiry. He goes in for 2 energy. You pay an energy on your next turn. Target player puts top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So you're already putting more than one card into the thing. Let's say that you were against somebody and they scryed and they saw that they had a good card on the top. Minister of Inquiry says, not in my house, and he sends the top 3 cards of their deck into the grave, and they can't pull that good card next turn. What a bean. And there's Vessel of Paramnesia. It's practically a 3-cost mana card. Since you can cast it up for 2 and then pay 1 mana, they put the top 3 cards of his or her library into their graveyard. And on top of that, you get to draw a card as well. So you get a little something special there too. Now you may want to be like, well, I need a way to get these cards, which is why these other things come in. You get Anticipate. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and then you put the rest of them at the bottom of your library in any order. Heck, you could get another Anticipate and then do the same thing later. But the main card you want to be using in this deck is Aetherworks Marvel. You put it in there, and if they get rid of any of your creatures or enchantments or anything, it gets an energy. Not just that, but you'll start to stack on energy eventually, and then you'll be able to pay 6. With that, you'll be able to look at the top 6 cards of your library. You can cast any of them without paying its mana cost. Meaning on that same turn, even though you have no more mana, you could possibly cast another Minister of Inquiries, or maybe even a Vessel of Paramnesia, and then use it your next turn. Now you may wonder, aren't we gonna run out of energy eventually? That's where our other Valkyrian boys come in. Aether Theorist, he goes in and gives you 3 energy, and if you want to use his scry ability, you can. You pay 1, you scry 1. You also put in some Aethertide Whales. They go in and they already give you all 6 energy counters. And why would you return that thing to your hand? Come on, that's ridiculous. 6 energy for a 6-cost card? Please. You also get Baral's expertise if they get too frisky. This card allows you to put your enemies' artifacts and or creatures back into their hands. And then on top of that, you can cast a card from your hand that has cost of 4 or less without paying its mana. So even more specials out there, just put them out there. And if you don't have this card in hand, well don't worry, that's where Chilling Grasp comes in. You can tap 2 target creatures, their controllers don't untap on their next step. And this even has Madness. Let's say that you had to discard a card or something. You can cast it for its mana cost after it goes into exile. Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but hey, there's no reason to waste such a good card now, is there? We also got these guys, Nimble Innovator. He goes into the field and then you get to draw a card. And that's the basics of the deck. Other than Aether Hub, your 2 Aether Hubs, which are lands that they go on the field and you get 1 energy counter. Of course, this has the extra effect of paying 1 energy and you can use any color mana, but there's no reason to use that. Not in this deck at least, the mono blue. Now, let's talk about sideboards really fast. Let's say that in your first round of the 3-round game, your opponent is using a lot of spells that are high in energy and you can't do anything about it. Well, you could switch out some of your Chilling Grasps and put in some Broken Concentrations. Counter target spell, and it has a madness cost too. So if they take it out of your hands, you can just put it back on them. There's also Clutch of Currents. Return target creature to its owner's hand. On top of that, if you want to pay the extra 5 mana, when you cast a spell, you also put 3/1/1 counters on a target land, and it becomes an elemental creature with haste. It's still a land though, so you can still tap for whatever you want. Sideboard is Aether Meltdown. It's a flash card that you can cast at any time you want. You can enchant a creature vehicle, you get 2 energies, and the enchanted thing gets -4, -0. Pretty much crippling any creature that goes on the field. Now you may be saying, that's a pretty good thing, but how does it work in practice? Well, why don't I show you? But I do trust this deck. However, there are some problems with it. The deck is a very slow one. If you don't start off with Aetherworks Marvel, or you don't start off with at least 3 lands in your hand, you're basically screwed. The most important cards to get out on the field in the first 10 turns of the game have to be Aetherworks Marvel, Ministry of Inquiries, and as soon as you get it, if you can cast it for the 3 cost, Vessel of Paramnesia. If you don't do that, then there's a good chance that you'll get screwed. So yeah. How would I rate this deck? I'd rate it an OK out of OK. It's a great starting place for you, and for a standard deck that uses a bunch of pretty good effects, it's relatively cheap, $33.78. Now as we get to this part, allow me to explain to you my definition of a cheap standard deck. A cheap standard deck is something under $40 because, let's face it, trading cards are pretty expensive. Even if one is just 25 cents, that's a single one for 25 cents. Now if you guys want to add something else to this deck, let's say you want to add some Delirium or add more Madness, maybe you want to take out all the energies and use the tapping for something else, who knows? Hey, it's your card game, change it up as you wish and you please. Just remember that prices will vary. I'm recording this on the 21st in February in 2017, so the prices are always bound to fluctuate. Either way, hope you enjoy this video. If you like it, remember to slap like, and hey, subscribe if you want to see more decks that I build that I give away for things, or yeah, I'll be doing decks for standard Magic, Pokemon. Until next time, guys, see ya. Hey guys, forgot to mention you're gonna want 4 Dampening Pulses in the main deck, and the deck list will be in the description if you want to print it. Beyond that, see ya.